So basically, we're gonna be reviewing this video and giving commentary, but it's about 20 PhDs in the time. Can you get 20 PhDs worth of knowledge in the time that it takes one? So they're gonna be discussing how AI and college education are blurring.
We decided to change everything, change culture, change design, change intellectual structure, use technology, move in new directions, and then we began measuring learning outcomes.
For all the talk about changes in higher ed, including just this week, when the University of Virginia became the first public college to agree to Trump administration oversight, the biggest cause for change, AI, doesn't come up all that often in the political debate. For nearly a quarter century, Michael Crow has led the university that is, by some measures, the largest in the United States. Few people have thought as much about American higher education while also having the ability to influence it on such a large scale. But when we first talked with him a little over a year ago, we didn't cover artificial intelligence. A lot has changed since then.
AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind.
Another uncomfortable truth linked to AI.
AI.
It's not a bubble.
Obviously the most disruptive technology in the history of mankind.
Egalitarian.
I really think that people see AI as the boogeyman. They really see AI as the boogeyman. They are very, very fearful of it all over the place, right? I guess maybe I am just super resourceful, because every single tool that is at my disposal, I put to use. So I'll give you an example. At work, for instance, right? You've seen me use Devin AI on some streams here. And I use it like sometimes when I would get stuck, I would use it for certain things. But at work, we have some Devin access, but some people have the full out Devin like ability to use Devin, where it's like helping you code and stuff like that. But for the rest of the company, you have the ability to like ask Devin, where it's gonna like it'll analyze your code base and give you suggestions, but it's not gonna write the code for you. And for me, that's the level of access that I have, and it actually works pretty well for me because I'm able to use Devin now the same way that I use Gemini, but with this caveat. With Devin, it's able to read the code base and understand it and give me suggestions based off the code. And I'm able to use those suggestions to actually go faster in the work that I'm doing. So Devin has actually saved me a lot of time. So now, even though I don't have the full access to Devin, I'm still using the AI to help me facilitate and move a lot faster. I mean, you've seen us do so much in so little time here on this channel. But the fact that people are like, they're going crazy over the growth and the speed of AI. But the way that I see it is that you can just do so much more in so much less time. People are always complaining about, oh, I don't have time for that, I don't have time for that. When I'm at work, my goal is to get things done. And that's why I'm always saying, like, you got to spend time learning. You should spend time learning AI, spend time learning coding, all this type of stuff, because work is not the place that I don't believe in learning on the job. But so many people are fearful because AI is quote unquote the cause of layoffs, but it'll also be the cause of hirings in new fields, new positions.
And access to knowledge is at the highest level in the history of our species. What we have is a walking, talking reference library on any subject, and we never had anything like that in our society before.
We wanted to know how artificial intelligence is changing the American college experience, what it means for the teachers and students who have now made it a regular part of their lives. But we also asked Crow about the outcomes for recent graduates and how his school is preparing students for an economy that is moving very fast.
What does that do to teaching? I mean, back in the olden days, we wrote essays, we wrote blue books back when I was there. How do you do things like essays and evaluations?
Well, I think what has to happen, and we've experienced this at ASU with our 6,000 faculty members, several thousand of which are already AI trained, is you have to up the game. Perhaps we were learning too slowly, too incrementally, too much in a regimented or industrial way. With the AI tools that are available now, you can up the game, enhance the question complexity, enhance the answer complexity, expect more of the students. We had somebody give their test out of the business school to an AI system to get everything right instantly. Well, then the test is too easy. The test is too simple. So it's basically a way, in our view, to accelerate learning, to broaden learning, and to speed learning. So you have to look at it as a new way to basically make the game more intensive. The model's always changing. So Plato, was against the written word. He thought everything should be.
I actually really like that. Push people harder, push people further, push people faster. Up the game. Like, oh, they're just going to use AI to do this. Okay, well, make it more challenging, make it more difficult, make it requiring more effort. Because look what, here's one thing that AI can't do for you. It can't present for you. It can't know the info, like it can know it, but you still have to be able to present it and digest it. So I think that the way that college is currently modeled is super duper outdated. Most people, the things that they learn in college, they never use it in their real life. And they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that PhD. So the way that, like, just a small sample of what we've been able to do in the past few months, and I am energized. I'm like I said the other day, we have I am so excited about the speech assistant app to help you be able to clearer communicate. And that was just like a prototype, just just thinking it out. And now this coming Sunday, we're going to be connecting it to Amazon, the Amazon Transcribe, so that it can get the transcription of what you are saying, and then it can process it through AI to say, okay, you said this many times, you said like this many times, and you were talking at this speed. Here are some pointers to help you out. Or maybe, and then we're going to add a way to have conversations with it, so that you can practice being more conversational. So, and that's just one of the apps. Like I said, we have the coaching portal. I have my content creation assistant that I use every single day. So many different opportunities that AI is bringing us, but we are so focused on the doom and gloom. For me, I am running towards it. I am running. When I see someone like Junior, who never really used AI, never really used AI, and then we had a vibe code and chill back in July-ish, and he jumped on and started using Lovable and started building something out, and that was absolutely remarkable. So my thing is, stop crying, stop whining, stop complaining, start working, start trying, start building. And as you continue, it's like building a house. You're laying down the foundation by starting to initially learn, and then you keep going.
Thought through verbally and communicated verbally. There were unbelievable forces against the development of the printed book. And so the internet and its development, the web and its development all had people that were against it. And so AI changes the model in the sense that it speeds it up and intensifies it. It personalizes the learner's experience, but it doesn't teach those core things. There's no values being taught. There's no values being experienced. There's no lived experiences being built. So what we really have here now is we just have this massive hyperspeed calculator capable of going to all of the digitized information, you asking a question about that information and getting the most probable answer. It's all about the questions that you're asking. It's not about the answers, it's about the questions, and that's what people need to really figure out.
Does it change the notion of cheating?
I'll bet humans have cheated for quite a while. It does change the nature of what is your.
When I was in high school, we didn't have AI, and trust me, we knew how to cheat very, very well. We knew how to cheat very, very well. So, and see, something that was very important. When the internet started coming out, the internet was the devil. When cell phones started coming out, cell phones were the devil. And let's not even talk about 5G. We were all supposed to be dead because of 5G. People hate technology, people hate change, people hate evolving. They just want things to be the way that they were back in the dark ages. Because a lot of people, they still live in the dark ages. They're still whining and complaining about what happened forever ago, instead of looking like, wow, what opportunities. They're looking at the challenges of the past instead of looking at the opportunities of the future. Me, I don't care. Learn from the past, great, whatever. I don't like to talk about the past. I like to see what's in front of me. I do not like to look in the rearview mirror. I don't like to drive back. I know you'll see in these movies really, really cool. I'm sure Junior knows how to drive backwards really, really fast, really, really cool. However, me, I like looking forward. If it was possible to not even have reverse on a car, I'd be like, let's go, because I want to go forward.
Work. Now, if you're answering a complex question and you're using a reference library and an AI system to answer that question, that seems legitimate. If you're using it to produce your analytical response that's supposed to be demonstrative of your ability, well, then you're cheating. Now, you have to then build a system which recognizes the ability to gain access to these tools. Now, sometimes it's just going to be you in there by yourself taking the test, because they've got to know that you know how to ask the question, you know how to derive the answer, that your brain works in a certain way. Beyond that, the AI systems are going to enhance learning in every possible way, and the idea of cheating will change.
At this point, are there some things that you can learn that AI cannot teach you?
Absolutely. I mean, an AI system can't teach you to be innovative. It can't teach you to be creative. It cannot teach you grit. It cannot teach you the discovery process. It cannot teach you. I mean, it's a machine. It's an advanced hyper-speed calculator. It can do things that you can't do. It can think around corners that you can't see. But of course, so can a dog. And so it's a powerful analytical tool to enhance our mental capabilities, not to replace them.
And he's right about that too, because sometimes like you need to come with the idea, but then it's like the spark. You can ask AI for like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts and stuff like that? Like not thoughts, but like give me some feedback on it. But then it still has to be yours. It's like so. For me, I see it as I'm always working in tandem with AI, right? To it.
In order to ensure that AI is a springboard rather than a crutch, Crow says students and teachers will have to raise the bar. And one place he's already seen signs of AI's ability to supercharge progress is in the school's research programs.
It's almost unbelievable. We have probably 50 research groups that are using advanced AI to solve unsolvable problems, to figure out how to process materials or manage the Mississippi River in a different way in terms of the flow of the water and the flow of the dirt and other things that go down the river. We've got people doing advanced chemistry now. We're using AI systems to think beyond the way that we normally think, to create more revolutionary opportunity. There was a study recently done by some of our faculty at the speed with which you could complete the work equivalent to a dissertation in genetics, 14 days. What that means then is that the PhD that normally takes 4 or 5 years to set up the experiments, do the work, be evaluated, maybe the PhD student of the future will do the equivalent of 20 PhDs. That will speed up the cures for cancer. That will speed up the analytical tools that will help restore sight in human beings. That will speed up the techniques that use electromagnetic current to affect people with Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative diseases, all of which are computationally limited.
Certainly the world is.
But now here's a question. What is more important? What is more important? Is the importance on the fact that you are quote unquote doing it however long it might take, a lifetime, maybe never? Or is the importance the results, the solutions that you're able to come up with? Because what if you're able to use whatever tool at your disposal to provide actual long-lasting results that impact and change the lives of millions of people because you used AI or whatever other tool? Or do you want to hold on to your pride and like, oh, I did it myself? No. I'm like, for me, I want results. I want results. I want to work. And I don't want to get stuck and bogged down for hours or days on something that's just not working. I can figure it out. I've been figuring things out my whole entire life, but guess what? For me, using AI is just another way of me figuring things out. I have reinforcements, I have back, because it was a lot of Stack Overflow that I was using. It was a lot of just Googling and seeing what other people did. And now I can like, oh, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, okay, let's try this, let's try that. I give it a try. I go back and forth. So, and I'm saying, okay, this
changed enormously since I came out of college a long time ago now. But my sense is the rate of change has really increased, maybe even geometrically, how fast it's changing. How do you prepare graduates today for a world 20, 30, 40 years down the road that I can't even imagine?
So there's no way to prepare someone.
before you even said, and I wish I didn't even hear that part, but I'm going to say this. That right there, with all due respect, that was a stupid question. Why do I say that? And I prefaced with all due respect, that was a stupid question because you cannot prepare someone right now, especially in tech, for 20, 30 years down the road. There is nobody from 30 years ago with what they learned back then were prepared for what we have today. That doesn't make any sense. That's a bad question. Bad question. The real question is, how can you prepare someone to learn how to think and how to maneuver for 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road? It's about thinking. It's not about what they're going to be doing. It's you're preparing them how you're going to be maneuvering throughout your life, and that's what the real teaching needs to be.
For something you don't know what it will be, except one thing. What we're attempting.
How do you prepare graduates today for a world 20, 30, 40 years down the road that I can't even imagine?
So there's no way to prepare someone for something you don't know what it will be, except one thing. We're attempting to take all the people that are coming to our university, 120,000 degree-seeking students, 700,000 other learners who are just taking courses with us digitally and otherwise. Can we help create you to be a master learner? Can we help you to be a person capable of learning anything, adjusting to anything, adapting to anything? It's really that, because we don't know what all of the adaptations that will be required are. We do know that you should be grounded in, American history and economics and the role of democracy and certain subjects in math and science and so forth and so on. And then after that, we find a learning path for you to take where you learn to learn. We don't care what your major is. I met a kid the other day who was majoring in opera and physics.
And I had no idea what he was going to say, but it's just, for me, it's common sense. That's why I said it was a bad question, because you don't prepare people for 30 years. You might like say, all right, you want to get your investments right and your retirement plan right and stuff like that. Prepare for retirement and for the future in that sense. But like what to learn right now for 30 years? The world changes so fast. So no, it's teach them how to learn what needs to be learned as they progress in life. Every
Great, fine, fantastic. That's how that kid learns. And so that's what we're after. How do you create universal learners capable of learning anything? That's the pathway.
We hear at 40,000 feet about a shifting employment situation for recent college graduates because of AI. Are you seeing any of that in the real world?
We're not seeing that in our graduates. Now, the problem with people talking about all college graduates, there's more than 20 million people in college. A couple million go to what you think of as sleepaway colleges. They go to places where you're living on campus. The other 18 million go to college in some other way, community college, online, some kind of other course, and so forth. So we're not seeing any change. We're seeing the same level of anxiety. We're seeing the same level of the process. Where more than 95% of our students that graduate as undergraduates are employed or in graduate school within the first year, almost all within the second year. So we're still seeing good ROIs. But what we are seeing is students who are quite savvy, adjusting their trends. So we're seeing a slightly downward trend in computer science and a slightly upward trend in double majoring and triple majoring. More people moving into analytics and supply chain and all kinds of other things. And so the market for learning is also adjusting. we measure our success based on who we include.
Crow hopes the size and scope of ASU will help with that adjustment, allowing students to react quickly and build new skills for the changing world. And in a school made famous for opening its doors rather than being exclusive, he thinks the most important skills of all can come from unlikely places.
We've even got ways now that we're using advanced AI-enhanced robots to help people that aren't qualified to get into a particular college to do what they want to do to get them qualified. Guess what? When we get them qualified, they have more grit and determination than anyone else who sort of walked into it from high school, and they outperform everyone.
There's a theme going on right now that every college has been overrated, oversold. What do you say to parents?
What we have is a way for your child, your student, to learn on the path that's going to enhance their ability to be most adaptive throughout their life. So don't worry about their major. So we get these parents that say, well, my kid needs to major in accounting so they can get a job, or they need to major in anything other than political science or history or English where they'll never get a job. That's actually not true. Some of the hottest things that we have that we're producing right now are English majors that can code. And so they have a broader perspective and they can code. And so we provide free coding classes to everyone in the institution. We provide other ways in which you can double major, triple major, take other kinds of things. And so what we say to parents is, let's find the way where your kid is going to smile while learning, while preparing themselves to be a master learner, and you'll have to worry about them less. If they take a fixed thing in a fixed way, in a fixed pathway, they could find themselves in an alley and no way out. We're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen.
So, still not sure how I feel about the end, about like these. Here, I'll say this. I don't think that college in itself is a waste. I think the way that people plan and strategize for college is a waste. People want to go to these private institutions out of state and for majors that they can't get a job for. Because here's the truth, right? A lot of people, even though they'll be double and triple majors, they double and triple major in things that are super easy and there are no jobs available for. They don't learn anything tech related, and they're like, oh my God, I'm $200,000 in debt for college, and I cannot find a job. So it's like the first question is, oh yeah, and don't forget, college should be a right. First they say food is a right. No. Then they say college is a right. No. 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 It's not a right. What? Okay. Here's a question. What is a right? What is a right? Something that you are born with. Something that you can do without anyone stopping you. Now, there might be consequences for you doing that, but the fact that you can do it regardless makes that a right. So that, like, you can say whatever you want, but there might be consequences for what you say. But the fact that you could say it, regardless of the consequences, you have the right to say whatever you want. But you don't have the right to, like, food isn't just given to you. College education isn't just given to you. You have to actually go out there and seek to learn it. So when we go do that, when you go shopping, you have to make the right decisions on what you're going to buy. A right is not something that somebody owes you, right? No one owes you an education. No one owes you food. If it was a right, then it wouldn't say, if you don't work, you don't eat. There should be no conditions on things that are rights. There is no condition of how you're allowed to talk because it's your voice. So that means when it's up to you. When you go to school, are you going to pay attention or are you going to be a class clown? So with the way that in the video, the way that he structures his college, really cool. Everyone is learning like some type of like coding and AI and stuff like that, regardless of the major. But you also have to be aware of, okay, what school am I going to go to? Should I go to community college first? People look down on community college. Why? Why?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Because it's not the big name school. People will live and die by by college that they never even went to. I live in South Florida. If you knew the love that people who never even stepped foot on the University of Miami has for the University of Miami, you would be like, what in the world? This makes no sense at all.
Bruh.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, so the bottom line is, with AI, you can learn so much more, so much faster. And I think that the way that it's going to push people even further, I think it's great that instead of colleges being afraid of AI, they should embrace it, and they should teach the students to embrace it as well and see, okay, how to strategize. I like what they said in the video. I like what they said in the video, because it's like, it's setting up mindset. It's not, how do I prepare today for 30 years on the line? No, it's how do I learn how to learn what's going to be coming at me inside of these next 30 years that I can adjust properly. All right, so that's my thoughts on that. That was pretty, I like that. I really did like that video.
They see the motion, they see the winds, and the first thing they want to do is, hey, come over here, come check out my path. They don't get it. This isn't a hobby, this isn't a phase. This is purpose. And we don't never ever go off track. Locked in.
Yeah, my focus locked. You can't break the seal. This ain't dedication. You can kinda feel. This the 5 a.m. This the 2 a.m. This the don't you dare disturb me. I am through with them. This is my direction. This is my one way. I ain't got a pause button. I don't stop for play. My goals are on the wall. The purpose in my veins. You come with other options. I'ma stay in my lane. I'm on the path to winning. You can see the tracks. Built it all from nothing. Check the artifacts. Every app I ship, every line of code is another milestone on my private road.
He ain't looking left, he ain't looking right. Got that tunnel vision, staying in the light. All that other talk is just white noise. He can hear the useless past, he can't hear their voice. His focus is a purpose, his team is on the mission. If you're a distraction, you don't get a mission. It's just white noise.
They come into your life, man, smiling all bright. Yo, I got this new thing, it's a new light. Just forget your hustle, man, come follow me. This is where you really ought to be. But their path is useless, it's a dead-end street. It's a trap designed to cause your own defeat. They just wanna leech their energetic thieves. They use you for your drive, then they pack and leave. Spit you out all empty, broken off your game. While they find another person they can go and claim. I learned that lesson hard, I paid that toll in blood. Now I spot them coming, treat them all like mud.
He ain't looking left, he ain't looking right. Got that tunnel vision, staying in the light. All that other talk is just white noise. He can hear the useless past, he can't hear their voice. His focus is the purpose, his team is on the mission. If you're a distraction, you don't get a mission. It's just white noise. The world is gonna try to pull you from your dream. They'll say you're too intense. They'll try to intervene, but only what you focus on is what will come alive. The rest is just a sound. You silence to thought.
So I don't look at what they're doing, I don't care at all. I don't watch their highlights, waiting for their phone call. I just watch my metrics, I just watch my screen. I just watch the progress of my own damn team, cause that's what really matters. Those who in the trench, building on the same plan, on the same workbench. If you're on my path, then let's go and run. If you're not, you're nothing, man, your story's done. This ain't being cold, this is being clear. My dedication's bigger than my doubt or fear. The hustle chose me and I won't let it down. That's the only reason I'm gonna own the crown.
He ain't looking left, he ain't looking right. Got the tunnel vision, staying in the light. All that other talk is just white noise. He can hear the useless past, he can't hear their voice. His focus is the purpose, his team is on the mission. If you're a distraction, you don't get a mission. It's just white noise. just white noise. He can't hear you. He's locked in. His purpose, his goal. Nothing else matters. It's just